Morning, Wanda. Today we are going to discuss about the working principle of alternator. Okay, in the previous class we discussed about the construction of an alternator. What are the constructional parts are there in the case of a alternator? Okay, that all will be discussed. Now in the present class we discuss about the what is the working principle of an alternator. Okay, what is the working principle of alternator? Okay, on what basis that alternator will be operated, that all will be discussed in this class. Okay, first coming to the working principle of alternator. Okay, it is also called as the synchronous generator or AC generator. Okay, it is also called as the synchronous generator or the AC generator. Okay. Alternator is also called as the synchronous generator or a AC generator. Okay, it is a device which converts mechanical power in the form of a AC. Okay, the working principle of alternator is same as that of a DC generator. Okay, what is the working principle of DC generator? It is the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Okay, what is the Faraday's law? Whenever a conductor cuts the flux lines, an EMF is induced on the basis that DC generator is operated. Okay, similarly, the same principle for that alternator also. Okay, that is the it works on the principle of electromagnetic induction. Okay, and it is called as the alternator. Okay, an alternator consisting of the armature winding and the field magnet. But the difference between the alternator and the DC generator is that in the DC generator, the armature is rotate and the field system is stationary. Okay, in the case of DC generator, the armature is to be rotated and the field system is stationary Okay, therefore, this arrangement in the alternator is a just reverse. Okay, in this case, the armature is the stationary and called as a stator, and the field system is rotating and it is called as the rotor. Okay, therefore, constructionally, the armature having the stator and the rotor. Okay, stator means the stationary armature and rotor is the rotating magnetic field is there in the case of a rotor. Okay, that is the only difference between the DC generator and the alternator. Okay, what is the major difference? Okay, in the case of a DC generator, the armature is rotated and the field system is stationary. Okay, understand ma? In the case of DC generator, okay, the armature is rotating. Okay, that means the conductor is rotates and the field system is stationary. Okay, but in the case of a alternator, okay, the armature is stationary and the field is rotating Okay, therefore, armature is stationary. It is called as the stator and the field system is rotating. Okay, it is called as the rotor. Okay, understand ma? It is called as the rotor. Okay, therefore, it works on the principle of electromagnetic induction. That is the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Okay, what is the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction? Whenever a conductor cuts the flux lines, an EMF is induced. Okay, understand me? Whenever the conductor cuts the flux lines, an EMF is induced. Okay, on the basis of that principle, both the DC generators and the alternators is operated. But only there is a small difference between the DC generator and the alternator. Okay, what is the small difference? In the case of a DC generator, the armature is rotates and the field system is stationary. Okay, armature is rotate and the field system is stationary. But in the case of an alternator, the armature is stationary and the field system is rotating. Okay, stationary armature is called as the stator and rotating magnetic field is called as the rotor. Okay, understand ma? Next, for generating the EMF, Okay, the EMF is generated in the case of an alternator. For generating that EMF, okay, these things are essential. That is the magnetic field, system of conductor, and relation motion between those two. Okay, therefore, if the EMF is induced, okay, we are essentially following things. That is the magnetic field, conductor, and there is a relative motion between the things. That means either armature is rotated or conductor is rotated and magnetic field is rotated. Okay, both either one will be rotated. In that case only the EMF is induced. Why? Because means if the conductor is cuts the flux lines and EMF is induced. That is the Faraday's law. Okay, when the armature is rotated or the field winding is rotated, in that case only that armature cuts the windings, that winding cuts the armature conductors. In that case only the EMF is induced. Okay, the conductors are mounted on the stator and the field poles are mounted on the rotor core. Okay, in the case of a alternator, the conductors are placed on the stator and the magnetic field is placed in the rotor core. Okay, in this case, the relative motion between the stator conductors and the field is brought about the rotating the field system. Field system. Okay, there is a relative motion between the stator conductors and the field. Okay, if any one of that any one will be rotating, then according to the Faraday's laws, an EMF is induced. Okay, therefore the rotor is coupled mechanically to a suitable prime mover. Therefore the rotor is coupled mechanically to a suitable prime mover. When the prime mover runs, the rotor core is also rotates. Okay, if the prime mover is runs, the rotor core is also rotates and the field flux is cut by the stator conductors and EMF are induced them. Okay, if the load is connected across the stator terminals, the electric power would be delivered. Okay, therefore, what are the advantages of a stationary armature or the stationary conductor? Why? Because we are considering the stationary conductor. Okay, therefore, the generated power can be easily taken out of the stator. Okay, therefore, there is no possibility of the armature conductors flying off when the machine runs at a high speed, since they are housed in the stator slots. Okay, this is the fixed one. Okay, that's why there is no rotation in that conductors and there is any chance for the flying of the conductors. Okay, therefore there is no difficulty in the insulating the armature winding for very high voltages. Okay, therefore the two slip rings are required to supply of DC energy for the rotor field excitation, since the exciting current is to be supplied at the low voltages. Okay, there is no difficulties in that insulating them. Okay, therefore the rotating field is competitively light and can be run at the high speeds. Okay, therefore, and it can be run. Therefore, the rotating field is completely light and can be run with a very high speeds. Okay, understand, ma? Next, coming to the working principle of alternator. How the alternator will be operated. Okay, suppose we are considering as the north and the south pole. Okay, this is the north pole and this is the south pole. In between the north and the south pole, we are taking the one rectangular conductor. Therefore, it's named as A, B, C, D. Okay, therefore it's named as A, B, C, D. Okay, this is the rectangular conductor. For understanding working of alternator, let us assume a single rectangular turn placed in between the two opposite polarities magnets. Okay, therefore, in the two opposite polarities, we are considering the rectangular conductor. Okay, therefore, a single turn loop A, B, C, D starts the rotating clockwise against the A to B. Against the A to B. Next, coming to the after the 90 degrees rotation of that AB conductor of the loop comes in the front of the S pole. Therefore, the AB conductor is comes in that S pole and CD conductor is comes in that N pole. Therefore, as per the Fleming's right hand rule, the direction of this current will be from the A to B. At the same time, the conductor CD comes under the north pole. Therefore, CD will be comes in that north pole. Here also, if you apply the Fleming's right hand rule, we will get the direction of the induced currents. Okay, that all will be discussed in the working principle of a DC generator. Okay, now after the clockwise rotation for that another 90 degrees, okay, another 90 degrees, therefore the turn A, B, C, D comes at a vertical position. Therefore, this A, B, C, D are come at that vertical position. At this position, the tangential motion of the conductors AB and CD is just parallel to the magnetic flux lines. Therefore, the tangential position for that AB, CD conductors are just parallel to the magnetic flux lines. Hence, there will be a no flux cuttings. Okay, therefore, zero EMF will be induced in this position. While then takes the ABCD conductors from that in this position, therefore zero EMF will be induced. Okay, after that again that north pole will be coming at the AB conductor and the south pole is coming to the CD conductors at this position and comes the horizontal position for its vertical position. Therefore, the current in that conductor comes in the maximum value from the 0 to particular direction. Okay, that will be explained in the graphical representation. Therefore, this is the positive half cycle. Okay, this all will be explained in the case of a working principle of DC generator. In the working principle of DC generator, we are studying the 9 cases. That is the case 1. Case 1. Therefore, theta is equal to 0 degrees. Theta is equal to 0 degrees. Therefore, what is the mathematical equation? That is E is equal to sin omega t or the sin 0. Sin omega t or the sin 0. Okay, at position 1, what is the sin 0 value? That is equal to 0. Then theta is equal to 90 degrees. What is the EMF that will be induced? That is E is equal to sin 90 degrees. Okay, this is the maximum EMF that will be induced at this position. Next consideration, theta is equal to 180 degrees. Okay, this is the theta is equal to 180 degrees. At this position, E is equal to sin 180. E is equal to sin 180 degrees. Then we obtain the, that is 0 value. Next consideration, theta is equal to sin 270 degrees. Therefore, theta is equal to 270. Then sin 270 is equal to maximum value that will be obtained at this position. After that, we are obtaining that is theta is equal to 360 degrees. Theta is equal to 360 degrees. Therefore, sin 360 is equal to 0. Okay, this is the particular cases. Okay, that will be explained this like this. Okay, that already discussed in the case of a DC generator. Similarly, in the case of a alternator also, similar method, the EMF will be induced. Okay, what is the last position for that EMF induced? That is the AC. Okay, we are using the AC supply, then the output is also AC. But in the case of a DC generator, the output is the AC. In that case, we are using the commutator. Okay, what is the action for that commutator? It converts AC to the DC, but in this case of alternator, there is no requirement of that commutator. Only we are using the two electromagnets. Okay, in between the electromagnets, we are considering that rectangular conductor A, B, C, D. Okay, in these cases, okay, the rectangular conductor does not be rotated. Only the field will be rotated. Okay, why? Because means in this case, the conductor will be stationary. Okay, in that case, the conductor is stationary. Only the magnetic field is rotated. How the magnetic field will be rotated? That will be placed in the rotor. Okay, therefore the magnetic field is placed in the rotor slots. Okay, therefore if the rotor will be rotated, therefore the rotor is the rotating part of an alternator. Okay, when the rotor will be rotated, in that case only the conductor cuts the magnetic field lines. Therefore, an EMF is induced in this condition or in this situation. Okay, that is the basic difference between the DC generator and the AC generator. Okay, the alternator is also called as the AC generator. The working principle of that alternator is the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Okay, similarly, DC generator. But there is a small difference between the AC generator and the DC generator. Okay, what is the small difference? Okay, in the case of a DC generator, the conductor is rotated by using the slip rings. But in the case of an alternator, the conductor is stationary and the magnetic field is rotated. Okay, and the magnetic field is rotated. What is the essential criteria for the EMF induced? That means conductor, magnetic field, and also rotation of that either conductor or the magnetic field. Relative motion between the either conductor or the magnetic field. Okay, that is the essential considerations for the EMF induced in the case of a mission. Okay, understand me? That is the basic difference between the working principle of the alternator and the DC generator. Okay, therefore, the working principle for both the alternator and the DC generator is the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Okay, what is the Faraday's law? Whenever a conductor cuts the flux lines, an EMF is induced. Therefore, according to the Faraday's law, an EMF is induced. How the conductor will be cut? Okay, the magnetic field is placed in the rotor. When the rotor will be rotated, automatically the magnetic field is also rotated. Okay, if the magnetic field is rotated, each and every step that magnetic field is cut by the rotor conductor. Okay, therefore the conductor will be placed in the stator. Okay, therefore it is a stationary conductor. Okay, when the stator conductor is stationary, the rotating magnetic field is cut by that stationary conductor, and each and every step we are producing the EMF similar to that of a DC generators. Okay, that all will be explained in these similar cases. That is the case 1, case 2, case 3 and so on. Case 9. Okay, each and every case we are observing the output. This is the output EMF equation. Okay, this is the output EMF equation or the output induced EMF. Therefore, both the motor DC generators and the AC generator working principle is same. Only the difference is that in this case, the magnetic field is rotated, armature conductor is stationary. In the case of a DC generator, the conductor is rotated and the winding is stationary. Okay, clear? That all will be expressed, explained like this. Next, what is the armature reaction in the case of a alternator? Okay, if the rotating magnetic field will be obtained, how the rotating magnetic fields will be produced, and what are the armature reactions in the case of the alternators or the synchronous generators. Okay, that all will be discussed. Okay, in this case, every rotating electrical machine works on the based on the Faraday's laws. Okay, therefore these electrical machines are worked on the basis of a Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Okay, therefore every electrical machine requires a magnetic field and a coil. Okay, magnetic, we are having the two components mainly, that is the magnetic field and the coil. Okay, therefore coil is known as the armature with a relative motion between them. If either magnetic field is rotated or the coil will be rotated. Okay, in the case of a DC generator, the coil is rotated, the magnetic field is stationary. Okay, but in the case of a alternator, the coil will be stationary, that will be placed in the stator, and the magnetic field is rotated, that will be placed on the rotor. Okay, in that case, the EMF is induced according to the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Okay, in the case of an alternator, we supply electricity to the pole to produce the magnetic field, and output power is taken from the armature. Okay, due to the relative motion between the field and the armature, the conductors of the armature cuts the flux of magnetic field and hence would be changed to the flux linkages which this armature conductors. Okay, therefore according to the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, there would be an EMF induced in the armature. Okay, according to the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, there would be an EMF induced in the armature. Okay, therefore the load is connected with the armature terminals. There is an current flowing in the armature coils. As soon as the current start flowing through the armature conductors, okay, there is one reverse effect of these currents. Okay, therefore there is a reverse effect in these currents on the main field of the alternator. Okay, this reverse effect is known as the armature reaction. This reverse effect is called as the armature reaction in the alternator or the synchronous generator. Okay, understand ma? When the as soon as current flows through the armature conductor, there is a one reverse effect on this current on the main field flux of alternator. This reversal effect is referred to the armature reaction in the alternator or the synchronous generators. Okay, this is called as the armature reaction. Okay, therefore the armature reaction of alternator or the synchronous generator depends upon the phase angle between the stator armature current and the induced voltages. Therefore, there is a phase difference between these two quantities, that is 90 degrees to 90 degrees. Okay, this is called as the angle theta. Okay, suppose when the theta is equal to 0, the theta is equal to 0, that is the unity power factor. Suppose when the theta is equal to 90 degrees, that is the lagging 0 power factor. When the theta is equal to minus 90 degrees, that is the leading power factors. Okay, we are considering these following different cases. Suppose we are considering that is theta is equal to 0. That means unity power factor. Suppose we are considering theta is equal to 90 degrees, that is the lagging 0 power factor. Suppose we are considering theta is equal to minus 90 degrees, that is the leading power factors. Okay, for theta is equal to 0 degrees, that is the unity power factor. Okay, therefore, the angle between the armature conductor and induced EMF is 0. Okay, unity power factor means that there is no angle difference between the V and the I. That means the current and the induced EMF. Okay, that means the armature current and induced EMF are in the same phases. That means, okay, V and I are in the same phases. That means in this case, the voltage and the currents are in the same phases. That is called as the, okay, like this. Okay, this is the resistors of the unity power factor vector diagram. Okay, for the lagging or the zero power factors, okay, for lagging or zero power factors, that means theta is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, that means theta is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, what is the 90 degrees at lagging? Zero electrical power factor, the armature current lags the 90 degrees to the induced EMF. Okay, that means the armature current lags the induced EMF or the voltage. And the leading power factor means the capacitor load. At leading power factor condition, the armature current leads the induced EMF E by an angle of 90 degrees. There is an angle difference is in between 90 degrees. Okay, this is also 90 degrees. And this is also the 90 degrees. Okay, this is the lagging and the leading power factors vector diagram. That is E by an angle of 90 degrees. Again, we have shown just with the field flux leads to the induced EMF by E by an angle of 90 degrees. Okay, understand, ma? Okay, this is the armature reaction in the case of a alternator or the synchronous generator, or this is the working principle of an alternator. Okay, what is the working principle? That is electromagnetic induction. Okay, that means Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Okay, what is the Faraday's law? Whenever the conductor cuts the flux lines, an EMF is induced. Okay, that means, okay, there is a small difference between the AC generator or the DC generator. That is the, in the case of a DC generator, the armature conductor is rotating. But in the case of a alternator, the armature conductor is stationary. Okay, that is placed in the stator. Okay, what are the basic parts of the alternator? Stator and the rotor. Okay, therefore the stator is the stationary part and rotor is the rotating part. Okay, therefore the conductor is placed in the stator and the field winding is placed in the rotor. Okay, if the rotor is the rotating part of a machine, okay, when the rotor is rotated, therefore the magnetic field is also rotated. If the magnetic field is rotated, therefore the relative motion between the either magnetic field and the armature conductors, an EMF is induced. An EMF is induced. Okay, according to the Faraday's law, an EMF is induced. Okay, understand? That is the basic difference between the DC generator and the AC generator. Therefore, alternator is also called as the AC generator or the synchronous generator. Okay, which converts the mechanical power to the AC power. Mechanical power to the AC power. Okay, understand me? It consists of two parts, stator and the rotor. In the stator, we are having the armature winding, armature core, and in the rotor, we are having the magnetic field. Okay, understand? According to the Faraday's law, that magnetic field is spread by the armature conductors. Therefore, an EMF is induced. Okay, that is the working principle and the armature reaction in the case of a alternators. Okay, understand my clear? Okay, in the next class we discuss about the how the EMF that will be induced in the case of a alternator and what are the problems that will be related to the EMF equation of an alternator. Okay, that will be discussed in the next class. Okay, thank you.